The work right now, I believe, is a really, really in-depth analysis on where time is being compressed. So this is a concept I've been banging on about nonstop here, especially in the Discord that I run, about how what's happening right now is that time is getting compressed in many, many areas. So let's just take something like a company. This is a good way to sort of visualize what's happening right now with time being compressed. So when I mentioned several weeks ago that Mark Zuckerberg had created an agent as a personal assistant, an agent that was almost like an executive level role. All right. And it is an executive level role, as a matter of fact. It sits right beside him. And feeds real time data to him so he can make real time decisions. The agent knows his patterns. They've programmed it to be this incredible resource for him, and they put all the security around it and all that. But what that did was immediately it sort of set a bogey for all jobs that were equal to that level or below are now AIable. So that's now where I want to fold in this idea of time compression, because now that you've got Zuckerberg trusting an agent to be his closest confidant, and that he is willing to have that push information to him versus a human being, because corporations are basically just human beings pushing information around. And I mentioned this over and over on these videos, but this is such a crucial thing to be considering right now, because from there we can kind of hopefully follow the money after some of this stuff shakes out. But let's think about that right now. So essentially, if a corporation is a bunch of human beings moving information at different speeds, with different intentions, with different motivations, do they withhold information? Do they put it, all the different things that human beings do that are not present with an AI agent, unless it's programmed to be that way, which most aren't. So what happens then is now you're taking this idea of the time that human beings take to do things and compressing it. Now I use this one visual a lot just because it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. A human being, if they're going to go talk to someone else, in a meeting, they've got to walk down a hall. Maybe it's a 3 or 4 minute walk. Well, with this new agentic economy, you know, coming into focus, there's no walking down the hall. It's not needed. And then in the time and all the different things that have time associated with the human beings is just going to get compressed to basically nothing. So what does that mean? So what does it mean when we've compressed all of this time? And how do we think about that? Um, so much of our technology out there right now is devoted to saving time already. So many of the apps, I'm looking at my screen right now of all the different, potential investments I can make in the software space. But each one I look at, I'm like, that was designed like Intuit software, the tax software, tax day to day. You know, is that really going to be necessary next year? I mean, it was there to save you time. Now we get one more step further with AI to save you time with just simply plugging it into Claude. I don't need Intuit anymore. Or a lot of the other things that come around with that, that are around, that type of software. So anyway, what we're going to grapple with right now is time compression, and how do we look at the world from that place, and then, organize our investment thesis around that. And that's what I'm focused on almost exclusively right now. And this focus, interestingly, comes in the form of learning this technology. And what's one of the things that I'm you know creating within the Discord is a learning path, so that we can all kind of come together with it and gain some kind of community knowledge where we support each other in this new world of technology and innovation, and all of these tools that are just, in many ways, honestly, are gonna kind of have us feel for a period of time, I think, like unmoored. When time gets reorganized, and time's not real anyway. I mean, I could go into that, but when we have this new orientation towards time because of the speed, what does that do to us? Anyway, these are just sort of more random thoughts to think about. But I am 100% focused on understanding what are going to be and who and how and all of the questions. How do we get in alignment and coherent with what's going on with the compression of time? I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments.